Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out another Hitchcock movie. This time it is Rebecca, and this is a movie that I don't really know much about, but I can see here on YouTube that Netflix made a version of Rebecca, a new version of Rebecca. Ew. Why would they do that? Why would they do that to, I'm gonna guess, this very, very good movie? Because I haven't seen a bad Hitchcock movie so far, so I'm gonna guess that Rebecca's good. So why would they try and remake it, you know? I don't know how good the remake is supposed to be. I mean, if it's just a shot-for-shot remake of the original, it's probably a very good movie. It's just a shot-for-shot remake, I guess, but I don't know how good the new Rebecca is going to be. But I'm not watching the new Rebecca. I'm watching the old Rebecca, the better Rebecca. I'm watching it on YouTube. It's black and white. I couldn't find it on any streaming services, but I found a version of it on YouTube. I'll post a link in the description just so you know which version I'm watching, but it is 2 hours and 10 minutes and 42 seconds long, and I'm thinking that's how long the actual movie is supposed to be, because I actually searched up the runtime, and the runtime is 2 hours and 10 minutes, so I'm pretty sure that this is the actual version. Again, it wasn't on any streaming services, but I'm excited that I found it on YouTube for free, and I'm excited to check out this movie. I know nothing about it. I don't even know what it's about. Probably about a girl named Rebecca. Maybe it's a girl who dies called Rebecca, or maybe the main character is called Rebecca. Not really sure what I'm getting into with this, but I'm just really excited because Rebecca, I don't know why, I just am very captivated by this movie, and I know absolutely nothing about it. And if you'd like to check out more of my reactions, you can head over to my Patreon, where I have uncut reactions to many of the movies I watch on YouTube, as well as early access reactions to my movies that come out 1 week early. There are also 2 exclusive Patreon movies a month that you guys on Patreon get to choose. Thank you so much if you check it out. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, let's just dive on into this movie. Let's just meet Rebecca. Let's meet Rebecca. I hope you enjoy my reaction to Rebecca. But who is Rebecca? I want to know.
Drive wound away in front of me, twisting and turning as it had always done.
This is a cool shot.
And finally, there was Mandalay. Mandalay.
Not a creepy house at all.
I do go back to the strange days of my life, which began for me in the south of France.
Let's see it, Rebecca. I'm assuming that was Rebecca talking right now, but it could be someone else. It could be a Becca or a Kate or a Duncan.
No, stop!
Oh, thank God for you.
Not a single well-known personality in the hotel.
She just came for the celebrities?
Garçon, call him. Tell him to get me some... Why, it's Max de Winter.
Is that the guy? It is.
For me, if I had a home like Mandalay, I should certainly never come to Monte. I hear it's one of the biggest places in that part of the country.
So he owns the home that she likes to go to, or she likes to go to in her dreams.
Most girls will give their eyes for a chance to see Monte.
Wouldn't that rather defeat the purpose?
Yeah, that was a good one, sir.
I suppose he was in love with me and wasn't quite sure of himself. Well, c'est la vie. By the way,
Who is this woman? Why is she so confident in herself?
I suppose he just can't get over his wife's death. They say he simply adored her.
I mean, fair enough. If you adore your wife and she dies, it's probably hard to get over it. Funny if he takes a chair out from under her, she falls on the floor. He's like, pranked! Sorry, that would have been so funny if he did that, though.
No, she's my employer. I'm what is known as a paid companion.
Right, I didn't know companionship could be bought.
A paid companion?
We got on so well together.
You and your father?
Yes, he was a lovely person. Very.
Aw, that's really sweet.
If you should find one perfect thing or place or person, you should stick to it. Do you think
Aw,
that's
and he found the perfect
Well,
tree.
the family.
Maybe she'll be a perfect person for him.
You've taken long enough for that sketch. I shall expect a really fine work of
I like these 2 characters
Oh, no,
already.
no,
Do I know their
not
names?
nearly good.
No, but I like them.
I've lived in all my life. Now, I don't suppose I shall ever see it again.
Aw, that's actually really sad.
The water's so warm here that I could stay in all day. There's a dangerous undertone.
Come, I'll take you home.
Something really got to him right there. The music became like very tense. You could, his expression really changed. I wonder if it's because he just can't go back to the house or something she said.
I knew his wife, too. Before she married, she was the beautiful Rebecca Hildreth, you know.
Rebecca does not oh! Okay, so Rebecca was the wife.
She was the beautiful Rebecca Hildreth, you know. They simply adored her. She was the beautiful Rebecca Hildred.
Plot twist, he killed her.
Train nurse?
I'm sorry for the nurse. You keen on tennis?
No, not particularly.
That's good. We'll go for a drive.
You know what? I didn't want to play tennis anyways. Oh wait, I actually really like these two together, and I hope nothing goes horribly wrong. But honestly, anything can happen in a Hitchcock movie.
May I go now?
For the number of lessons you've had, you ought to be ready for Wimbledon. But this will be your last. I'm getting rid of that nurse today, and from now on, you'll stick to your job.
Yes, Mrs. Van Hope.
Oh no, she won't get to see De Winter anymore.
Oh, all of them. All these last few days. I feel as though I'd collected a whole shelf full of bottles.
Oh, that's so sweet.
That have a way of popping out at you just as you're trying most desperately to forget.
He really just ruined the mood. He really just ruined the mood.
I have a very impressive array of first names. George, Fortescue, Maximilian. But you needn't bother with them all at once. My family call me Maxim.
Max, okay. I'll call you Max from now on, thank you.
What do you think? My daughter's engaged to be married.
Oh, really? How nice.
We must leave for New York at once. Get ready.
No, but what about Max?
Hurry up and get in a maid to help with the packing. We've no time to waste. Go on and don't dawdle.
Do you think Max actually likes her though, or just using her to cope?
I was looking for my book. I suppose I packed it.
Well, come on. The car's waiting at the door.
She's like, I don't care about no book. Let's get to New York. Oh no, Max is calling, but his call will not be answered.
182.
No, now he's in the shower. But he's a good singer. Let me tell you, he's a good shower singer.
Mrs. Van Hope is waiting, and I'd better say goodbye now.
I repeat what I said.
No, he's offering. He's not joking.
You mean you want a secretary or something?
I'm asking you to marry me, you little fool.
It's been like 4 days.
I love you most dreadfully. I've been crying all morning because I thought I'd never see you again.
He's like, good, darling. I have that effect on people.
I'll remind you of this one day. You won't believe me. It's a pity you have to grow up.
That was an interesting line. I'll remind you of this one day, but you won't believe me.
Please, for you to come up to his room.
Mr. De Winter? Why, certainly.
Oh no. She's not getting what she's expecting.
And a violin playing in the distance. And I should be making violent love to you behind a palm tree.
Wow. In front of the violinist? That poor guy.
He's the word of all of this to me. What am I thinking of? I shall give you both my congratulations and my blessing.
Oh, what the heck? That was so nice.
Fact is, that empty house got on his nerves to such an extent, he nearly went off his head. He just couldn't.
Why are you saying this to her? This is so mean now. Oh, they get married? Is it official?
Oh, perfectly lovely.
Max is so interesting to me. He seems so nice. But there is something under the surface that I'm not quite sure about. There's just something that I'm not sure about right now.
Thank you.
Wow, it really just started a brain. It really just pelted it down.
That's it. That's Mandel.
It's a sexy house now, but it was a creepy house at the start of the movie. I have chills. Wait, why do I have chills? That was just such a good moment. The music. It's the music. I would be so weirded out if I saw that.
This is Mrs. Danvers.
Mrs. Danvers. Hello, Mrs. Danvers. Nice to meet you.
I think we'd like some tea, Frith. Ready in the library, sir. Come along, darling.
Mrs. Danvers is a little creepy. She looks like she doesn't like that lady. I don't still know her name. I'm gonna call her Mrs. De Winters then, I guess. But Max has not said her name. I've been trying to wait for him to say her name, and he just has not said her name. Does he not even know her name?
I only followed out Mr. De Winter's instructions.
Oh, well, what did it look like before?
It had an
Was
old
this-
paper and different hangings.
Was this Rebecca's old room?
Occasional visitors.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Danvers, I do hope we'll be friends.
Yeah, come on, Mrs. Danvers. There's something suspicious about the death of Rebecca.
I think I'll
I don't
go
know what it
upstairs.
is, but it's just tingling in the air, so it's just floating in the air. There's something off about everything right now. The music, the lady, Max, everything. There's just like something a little crooked.
The only one that looks down across the lawns to the sea. It was Mrs. De Winter's room.
Ah, go in it, go in it, go in it, go in it, go in it. You have to go in it. Someone has to go in that room by the end of the movie. Even the napkins have Rebecca De Winters on it.
Have a look at the Times. There's a thrilling article on what's the matter with English cricket.
She's like, I don't care about cricket. I love that she's not used to riches, and I love that she's so innocent about everything, because it just makes her exploring the house so much better. But she's so alone now, look at that. Wait, that's actually a really sad shot.
The paper, madam.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And she's so not used to it, just everyone doing everything for you. I wouldn't like that either. Someone left the window open or something? Why is that curtain moving so fast?
But you'll find one in the morning room. Of course, if you wish this fire lit now, madam.
Oh, no, Fred.
The morning room? There's a morning room? What the heck is the purpose of that room?
It's that door there, on the left.
Oh, yes, thank you.
I don't trust anyone in this house. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I don't trust anyone in this house right now. They even labeled it with an R. Rebecca addresses.
Mrs. De Winter was most particular about sources.
Let's
Yeah, but she's not the same one, guys. She's not the same one. Why are they all treating her like she's the old one? She's not the old... What the heck is happening?
Oh, yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Danvers.
I'm actually kind of creeped out right now. I'm gonna be honest. This is like a psychological thriller.
How are you, Frith?
Good morning, Mrs. Lacey.
Where's Mr. De Winter?
I believe he went down to the farm with Mr. Crawley.
How tiresome of him not to be...
He didn't make it back in time. He said he'd make it back in time. What a liar. I don't like Max anymore.
She's not exactly an oil painting, is she?
She is a little scary.
Here, go somewhere else.
Well, I'll try and find Maxim, shall I?
What? No, I like him. He's breaking up the tension. I don't like her anymore. No.
Don't you know? I should have thought Maxim would have told you. She simply adored Rebecca.
Oh. Okay, I can see why there's some tension between those two.
Never tried.
You must teach me. I say, but I'm trying to find out exactly what your wife does do.
Who is this guy?
Sketches a little.
I like him.
And don't sail, do you?
No, I don't.
Thank goodness for that.
Okay, so something about the ocean. The ocean is key in this movie. He doesn't go into the room where it looks over the ocean. He's standing on a cliff looking at the ocean. Sailing. She talked about sailing and his face went ba ba ba, you know?
Back behind your ears.
Something about the ocean. Something about sailing, maybe more specifically.
Him looks. We were very worried about him this time last year. But then, of course, you know the whole story.
The whole story? No, she don't. I don't know the whole story. She don't know the whole story. Oh, it's such a cute dog. It's going to the beach. It's going to the ocean.
Well, no, it's a perfectly dull, uninteresting stretch of sand, just like any other.
Oh, please.
A boat. Sailing. The guy mentioned sailing and everyone went quiet.
I want to.
Oh. Okay, I need to know what happened.
Jasper! Jasper! Oh, there you are.
Is someone in that house? Is Rebecca in the house? Who are you? You're not Rebecca. Well, he could be, I guess. Not creepy at all. Kind of looks like my granddad's house, actually.
She's gone in the sea, ain't she? She'll never come back no more.
Okay, she definitely died in the ocean.
I'm sorry I was such a time, but I had to find a rope for Jasper.
Hurry up, Jasper, for heaven's sake.
Please wait for me.
He's gonna get one of those tempers, maybe.
Oh, I can't bear to see you like this. Because I love you so much.
He doesn't.
I sometimes seem to fly off the handle for no reason at all. Don't I?
He's gotten a lot colder once they've gotten to Mandalore. Mandalore. Is that how you say it? Mandalore is in Star Wars. That's not right. You know what I'm talking about, though. Even his handkerchief says R on it. You gotta just let it go. This is the most intense mystery I want solved ever in my life. I want this solved more than what's in the garden in Rear Window.
Where did they find her?
But was she alone?
It was horrible for him.
Yes, it must have been.
Oh, she would have been like rotting and everything. Oh, that would not have been a nice sight.
I know they're all thinking the same thing. They're all comparing me with her, with Rebecca.
Oh, you mustn't think that.
No, they are. It's so true. Even Max is.
Very refreshing to find someone like yourself who's not entirely in tune, shall we say, with Manderley.
Manderley. Okay, not Mandalore.
I suppose she was the most beautiful creature I ever saw.
What the heck? How can you ever live up to that? That sucks for her. I'm so sorry, Mrs. De Winters. Okay, she looks good in that dress. Let me just say that off the bat.
What on earth have you done to yourself?
Oh,
What?
nothing, I-
What a weird thing to say.
Oh, I see. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I'm sorry. You look lovely, lovely.
No, it's so insincere now. I don't like you anymore, Max. I'm sorry. You've become so cold to her.
Won't our grandchildren be delighted when they see how lovely you were?
Oh, look at you.
Yes.
How lovely you were. He used the word were, not are.
Accused Robert of stealing a valuable ornament from the morning room. Robert denies the accusation most emphatically, sir.
Oh, it's the thing she broke.
Explain to him and Mrs. Danvers.
Oh, no, Maxim, you do it. I'll go upstairs.
Don't be such a little idiot, darling. Anybody would think you were afraid of them.
Yeah, I'm afraid of Danvers.
Perhaps if such a thing happens again, Mrs. De Winter will tell me personally.
Yes, yes, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Danvers.
She's so cold. She is so stone-faced. And I'd be so scared. I'd pee my pants every time she walked into her room.
Behave more like a upstairs maid or something. Not like the mistress of the house at all.
Yes, I know.
I love the lighting of the film projector right now. Whew, so good.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just said it for something to say. Don't look at me like...
Oh my god, that looks really angry now. Oh, the lighting on his face is perfect.
I'm not much of a companion to you, am I? You don't get much fun, do you?
She's literally been sad since she got here.
Why don't you answer me?
Hitchcock likes his lamps. What am I saying?
Happiness is something I know nothing about.
Look at the lighting, dude. Oh my god. This scene is phenomenal for the lighting alone.
Yes, madam. The West Wing.
Yeah.
Nobody ever uses it anymore, do they?
Yeah, so then why is she in there? And the plot thickens. I told you they're gonna go in that room. They have to. There's no way they say that and then not go in the room.
Yes, and we must be careful not to shock Cinderella, mustn't we?
She's in the morning room. If you lead through...
Jasper's so cute. Wood pet.
Very well, thank you.
I hear he went up to London, left his little bride all alone.
Yeah, because he's trash.
To the bride.
This is Mr. Favell, madam.
How do you do?
I love it. He just jumped through the window.
Danny didn't tell you, did she? I am Rebecca's favorite cousin. Toodaloo.
What the heck? Favorite cousin. She came up to him and was like, "You're my favorite cousin. Everyone else here sucks, but you're my favorite." It's gonna be locked. Oh, it's not locked. Interesting. Wow. That is a great shot. That is actually a phenomenal shot.
Do you wish anything, madam?
Oh my god, Danvers, you're scaring me, son. Whoa. That's so beautiful. Was Danvers like in love with Rebecca or something?
I keep her underwear on this side.
I'd be like, I don't need to see her underwear. Thank you though. I really am uncomfortable right now. And Mrs. De Winters is also probably feeling very uncomfortable right now.
I wonder if she doesn't come back here to Manderley. Watch you and Mr. De Winter together.
Stop saying this. What are you trying to do?
Why don't you stay here a while and rest? Listen to the sea.
She's literally turning her into Rebecca, it feels like.
All these things.
These are Mrs. De Winter's things.
I am Mrs. De Winter now.
Ah, good for you though.
Has Beatrice been at you?
No, but I feel that we ought to do something to make people feel that Manderley is just the same as it always was.
No, she's got a plan. She's got a plan, but I don't know what for.
This one, for instance. It might have been designed for you. I'm sure.
Nah, it's ugly.
I've heard Mr. De Winter say that this is his favorite of all the paintings.
Oh, well, he has bad taste. Why are you zooming into the portrait like that? Hitchcock, what are you doing?
Evening, Robert.
Was she dressed up as a picnic blanket?
That's right.
Oh, isn't it exciting?
Indeed it is, madam. I've always heard of the Manderley Ball, and now I'm really going...
What if that's actually Rebecca's costume?
Madam.
Do you really think so? Now, where's my fan?
She actually looks so good. That dress, I changed my mind. That dress is fantastic. He better not shut her down. If he does, I'm gonna punch him in the face. I'm gonna reach through the screen and punch him in the face.
What the devil do you think you're doing?
What?
What are you standing there for?
He's getting the punch. That's what he deserves.
Lord and Lady
I guess.
Blood Lieutenant.
So that's Rebecca. That was Rebecca. Come on. Show me. Oh, your hat fell off. Okay, just leave it. Fine.
You knew that she wore it, and yet you deliberately suggested I wear it. Why do you hate me? What have I done?
Oh, so that wasn't Rebecca's picture, but Rebecca wore the dress. Her mind is gonna be goop when this movie ends. Like, it's being so messed up. Don't you dare push her.
Look down there. It's easy, isn't it?
Oh my god, she's trying to make her jump.
Why don't you?
It's like the start of the movie, but with her this time. Don't do it! Danvers can jump out the window herself if she wants someone else to do that so bad.
Frank, have you seen Maxim anywhere?
Not since about half an hour ago. I thought he'd gone up to the...
I hope he died at sea.
He was a local man. Knew it instantly.
It'll be so hard on poor Maxim.
It also said Rebecca on the side. The cottage? Is this that little cottage place?
Forgiven you? What have I got to forgive you for?
Last night, my stupidity about the costume.
No, it wasn't your fault. Stop blaming it on yourself. Calm down.
It's all over now. The things happen. The thing I've dreaded day after day.
The things happen? What is it? They found the boat.
Her shadow has been between us all the time, keeping us from one another.
And Rebecca always wins.
They sent a diver down. He found another boat.
Yes, I know Frank told me.
There's more. There's more.
It's Rebecca's body lying there on the cabin floor.
But then who did you find? What?
The woman that is now buried in the family crypt. That was not Rebecca.
Then who was it?
I identified it, but I knew it wasn't Rebecca.
Oh, so he thought she was alive the whole time.
I knew where Rebecca's body was.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Because I put it there.
Ah, what did I say? What did I say?
Will you look into my eyes and tell me that you love me now?
I knew he killed her. I said it the moment he said something about it, I'm pretty sure. Don't you dare say you love him. He's a murderer. Calm down.
Oh, it's true, isn't it?
You thought I loved Rebecca? You thought that? I hated her.
Yeah, he killed her, you bub.
She's got the three things that really matter in a wife, everyone said. Breeding, brains, and beauty.
Why is breeding first? What?
Or decency.
You didn't love her. You didn't love her.
That's why Danvers loved her, because Danvers isn't capable of that as well.
What a grand joke it'll be. What a triumph.
So interesting. I love this.
She even started on Frank.
Yeah.
Faithful Frank.
Favorite cousin? That guy? Yeah.
A man named Favel.
Yes.
Oh, no. This is the cousin.
I found out about it, and I warned her that if he came here again, I'd shoot them both.
Should have shot them both anyways.
Suddenly she got up. Started to walk toward me.
I like this. We're showing what she did without her there. It's like I can see her ghost though.
Smiling. Suddenly she stumbled and fell.
Oh my god, I love this. I basically can see her in this frame right now. It's so cool.
I remember wondering why she was still smiling. Now she was dead.
But you didn't kill her. It was an accident.
Yeah, and she was dead.
I climbed over into the dinghy and pulled away. I saw the boat heel over.
So he didn't actually kill her. He did hide the body though.
She can't harm you anymore. We're the only two people in the world that know Maxim, you and I.
I told you once that I'd done a bit.
And me. Just saying, guys.
No matter what happens now, she hasn't won.
Someone answer the phone.
He's the chief constable of the county.
Yeah.
He's been asked by the police to go to the mortuary.
Yeah. Identify the body.
Why, what would he know about it?
Well, he's examining the boat now. Purely as a matter of routine.
Oh, but it's not gonna show that. Whew. Okay, so everything that Max just said, that's how I feel about it right now. Whew.
I'm sure Mr. De Winter will be very happy to hear it, but I don't...
Yeah, he's going to jail, bub. That boat examiner is going to find that the doors were definitely unlocked. That the smashing the spike into the hull or something was probably not from a rock.
I've been thinking of nothing else since it happened.
Jeez, what was that noise? That's a really beautiful shot.
Now, nobody's going to send you to the asylum. All we want you to do is to tell us what you saw.
So he was on the beach?
Remember any occasion when she had any sort of accident with the boat?
No, sir. I often said Mrs. De Winter was a born sailor.
Now, when Mrs. De...
Okay, but sailors can still crash, you know, so...
Well, yesterday when I examined that boat, I found they'd been opened.
Well, what could be the reason?
Oh, interesting.
Then you believe she must have done it deliberately?
Couldn't have been no accident. Not with her knowledge of boats.
But no one's saying that someone else did it right now. They're just saying she did it.
You may stand down, Mr. Tabb. Mr. De Winter, please.
This is the moment of truth.
Sailing alone, are we to believe that she drove those holes herself?
Well, you may believe what you like.
Can you enlighten us as to why...
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Were relations between you and the late Mrs. De Winter perfectly happy?
I won't stand this any longer, and you might as well know now.
Oh. Good distraction, Mrs. De Winter. This kid's gonna get hit by a car. Oh, never mind.
Sure. Here. I spotted this. Do you good?
That's a cool picnic thing. You like tape the plates up to the roof. Oh, that's awesome, actually.
And how does the bride find herself today?
Get out of here, cousin.
Lunch.
Lunch? I say, what a jolly idea. Rather like a picnic, isn't it?
Hey, you weren't invited. Come on. Come on, that's so rude.
You've only got to read this note to understand. It's from Rebecca. And what's more, she had the foresight to put a date on it.
It's from Rebecca.
I'd like to have your advice on how to live comfortably without hard work.
Hello.
Be rich. That's how you do it.
Since you're old friends, I assume you also know he's head of the police here. I think he might be interested to hear your proposition. Go on, tell him all about it.
Yeah, I would also be interested. I'm just joking, I know it. Haha.
Time, so you know he's the old-fashioned type, who'd die to defend his honor, or who'd kill for it.
It's blackmail. Pure and simple.
He didn't kill, but it looks like he killed, you know? She fell over.
Finds himself in jail at the end of it.
Oh, I see. You're going to hold De Winter's hand through all this.
I hope this guy gets taken. The cousin.
Isn't there? Crawley didn't have much success with Rebecca, but he ought to have more luck this time.
Oh my god.
Crawley, in a week or so. Every time she faints.
Max, punch him in the face. Yeah! Good for you.
Now, is there anything else?
Yes. You might bring Mr. De Winter a sedative.
No, nothing at all. Just leave.
He literally put no soda in there. That's all brandy.
Cassidy, I have no alternative but to pursue his accusation.
I entirely agree with you, Colonel. In a matter so serious as this, we must make sure.
I agree with you on your opinion about me, Colonel.
Witness who will help supply the motive. Colonel Julian, Mrs. Danvers, I believe you know everyone.
Mrs. Danvers can go explode.
One more thing you'll want to know. The name of the murderer. It's a lovely name that rolls off the tongue so...
Maxim. Dr. Baker, 165 Goldhawk Road, Shepherd's Bush.
Dr. Baker.
The father, so like the gentleman of the old school that he is, he killed her.
I'm afraid we shall have to question...
He got angry, but then she fell over.
Yeah, but for safety's sake, I think I'd like to...
Maybe it was manslaughter. Maybe he hit her into the thing and she died. So it was accidental. But he didn't mean to kill her, right? But still, maybe he did accidentally kill her.
You have my word for it that he will not do that.
I want to say, be honest, Rebecca does not sound like the nicest person ever. Does that lamppost say surgery on it? What a way to advertise your business.
I should have remembered the name De Winter. I've never attended a Mrs. De Winter in my life.
Well, how can you possibly tell all your patients?
Maybe it was a different name. Rebecca. Something else.
Exquisitely dressed.
Rebecca.
The lady must have used an assumed name.
Yeah.
Apply a reason, Dr. Baker, for Mrs. De Winter's suicide?
For her murder, you mean? She was...
I'm pretty sure he was in Spellbound. Dr. Baker was the guy in Spellbound, right?
I want to know if I can suggest any motive as to why Mrs. De Winter should have taken her life? Yes, I think I can.
Ah, yay.
I never saw her again, so I assume...
What was wrong with her?
Cancer.
Oh, interesting.
Except wait.
Interesting. The plot thickens again. Max could escape this. Interesting.
You told us all we wanted to know. We should probably need an official...
Max is safe. Max is safe then, if this stands.
Could I offer you gentlemen a glass of sherry?
Oh, very kind. I think we ought to be going.
Maybe she tried to make it look like Max killed her as well, because she hated him or something.
But let your wife know, she'll be getting worried.
Yes, of course. I'll phone her at once, then we'll get straight down to Mandalay.
I'm glad he didn't go. He didn't get jailed.
But I know now that when she told me about the child, she wanted me to kill her. She lied
Yeah,
on purpose.
this is what I said. This is what I said.
Don't think about it anymore.
Thank you, Frank.
That's what I said. She probably wanted him to kill her, almost framing him in a way.
You know? Oh, isn't it? Well, people are entitled to leave their cars outside if they want to.
Yeah, but not everywhere. No, stop. Go away, Danvers. Go away. Is she gonna burn the house down? Is this when the house gets destroyed?
That can't be the dawn breaking over there.
It's fire.
To see the northern lights.
It's fire. Oh, that's rough. Is she dead inside? Did Mrs. De Winters die?
I thought I saw her. Where?
Ah, she made it.
Maxie! Thank heaven you come back to...
Oh, what a shot though. The fire in the background and everything. The lighting is really good. Is she gonna jump out the window like she told Mrs. Danvers to do? Or, not Mrs. Danvers, Mrs. De Winters. What the heck? This is so cool. This is an insane shot. An insane set piece, too. See you later, Mrs. Danvers. And the memory of Rebecca burns away. And that was my reaction to the 1940 Alfred Hitchcock movie Rebecca, starring Joan Fontaine, Laurence Olivier, Olivier, Laurence Olivier, not Oliver. Sorry, I mixed it up with my own name. Sorry about that. I'm just like I'm in this movie or something. Judith Anderson and George Sanders. I really enjoyed this movie. This is definitely one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. I wouldn't say it's my favorite one, but I found myself enjoying this movie immensely, and the 2 hour and 10-minute runtime felt like it was like an hour and a half or something like that. I did not think this movie felt like 2 hours and 10 minutes long, and I just found this movie thrilling. There were some very edge on your seat moments, some very suspenseful, unknown moments, and I think that this movie really captured this kind of psychological thriller mystery aspect very well. I also thought that the twists in this movie were really good. The music in this movie was really good. The lighting in this movie, the cinematography, but especially the lighting in this movie was phenomenal. And what they did with the characters I thought was great, especially with Mrs. Danvers and Mrs. De Winters. Getting into the reviews of this movie very quickly before I get into the music and then the lighting and everything else about this movie. 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which is audience score, and 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So every single critic that has voted on Rotten Tomatoes like this movie can see why I don't really see someone not liking this movie. An 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb is a very good score for this movie. I think a lot of people really like this movie. I don't know how much this movie compares to the newer versions of Rebecca, because I saw that there was a version from like 1997 or something, and then Netflix recently made a version with Armie Hammer, which, by the way, like, thumbs down for that guy. But yeah, I don't know how those two movies compare to this one, but this movie, in my opinion, is definitely a masterpiece in terms of suspense, horror, and the things it has to say on the topics that it portrays, especially that between kind of gayness in a way and Mrs. Danvers' love towards Rebecca. And I thought that was a very cool thing that they had in this movie, especially because 1940 definitely is something that is looked down upon, and so I thought that was a very interesting take on this romance in a way. The music of this movie was phenomenal. It gave me goosebumps a couple of times. There's this one time in particular, and it was just like they just drove up to the mansion. Mrs. De Williams sees the mansion for the first time, and she's like, wow, and I got goosebumps, and I was like, why am I getting goosebumps in this? She's just seeing the mansion for the first time. Like, yeah, it's a beautiful mansion, but it's nothing to get goosebumps about. But it was the music when it swelled. It was like quiet. She turns, she sees the mansion coming through the trees as it expands, as her view gets wider and wider. The music swells, and there's a beautiful sound, and I don't know, it just gave me goosebumps. I thought the music in this was great. There was a lot of times where there wasn't a lot of music as well, or no music, and I think that really amped the tension up, because there were a lot of times where it'd be like this really mysterious music and this really creepy, unnerving music, and you'd be like edge of your seat, and all of a sudden it would just stop, and you would just be left holding your breath because you didn't know what was about to happen. And sometimes nothing would happen. Sometimes I keep wanting to call him in character Rebecca. She's not Rebecca, but Mrs. De Williams, sometimes she would like just be looking at someone or looking at something or be curious about something, and nothing extreme would happen per se, but it would still just make you like catch your breath, hold your breath, almost like you're watching someone dive underwater or something like that, and you just subconsciously are holding your breath with that character. I don't know, it was a very interesting thing to do with the music, and I thought they did a really good job. Something that I also find very interesting is that they didn't give Mrs. De Williams a first name. Maybe they did at the very start, but I am 100% certain, okay, maybe 99.9% certain that she did not have a first name. And I was trying to figure this out the whole movie. Like, what do I call this character? What do I call her? Because I didn't want to call her Mrs. De Williams. I wanted to actually call her a name. But Max never called her first name, which I thought was very interesting. First of all, why would Max never ask for her first name or never call her by her first name? Call me by her name. Call me by your name. But yeah, she never had a first name, and I was waiting for Max to say it so I could be like, oh, that's her first name, because I thought I just missed it at the start of the movie, because I'm not the greatest with names, and sometimes someone will say a name and I'll immediately forget it. So I need characters to continuously say someone's name in order for me to get that name into my system. No one ever said her name. I don't think her name was ever mentioned in this movie, and I find that very fascinating. Why did she not get a name? Is it because she's supposed to be this anonymous figure? She's not really a person that Max actually cares about. Max is just using her because she's this naive, innocent young girl, you know, and she really doesn't remind him of Rebecca. She's someone very different. She's someone very capable of love. Rebecca was not capable of love. Is that why? Because Max was just not using her as someone he loves. He says he loves her, but I didn't really think that he loved her, you know? Even when he said like, oh, I've loved you all this time, like, have you really loved her all this time? You've been like, she has been distraught since she's been at this house, and you have not really seemed to care an ounce about her. And so I don't know, it just felt like she was not a human for him in a way. She was just being used as almost a coping device, a coping mechanism. And so maybe that's why she didn't have a name, is just because no one cared enough about her to actually ask for her name, which I think is a very interesting thing. Also, I really liked Mrs. Danvers in this movie. I mean, she was really scary, but man, Judith Anderson did a phenomenal job as Mrs. Danvers. And obviously I'll get into Judith Danvers when I talk about the cast in about 5, 8, 10 minutes, something like that. I don't know precise time. I don't know. You can figure that out. But I really like what they did with her character and how she was totally in love with Rebecca. There was no doubt, there was not a shadow of doubt in my mind, which is a Hitchcock movie, I think, Shadow of a Doubt or something like that. There's not a shadow of doubt in my mind that Mrs. Danvers was not in love with Rebecca. She was crazy for Rebecca. And you know what? I think Rebecca might have been in love with Danvers too. I think that at some point, maybe the talk that she had with the honeymoon or something like that, I think Rebecca maybe came out to Max and said that, like, I'm in love with Mrs. Danvers, I'm a lesbian, I'm gay, you know? And I think that's very interesting because Max was like, there's just things I'm never going to talk about. They're things that are horrible, horrible things. And in 1940, being gay was a horrible, horrible thing, you know? So I think it was very interesting to have Mrs. Danvers so infatuated, see that big word? That was a big word. Infatuated by Rebecca, and it really came out. And a lot of the relationships kind of revolved around Rebecca's relationship with Mrs. Danvers. And so I just really enjoyed that. Mrs. Danvers was always obviously very scary, and I didn't like her presence on the screen that much. But at the same time, I was very intrigued by the message that it seemed was being portrayed very subtly through, maybe not even subtly, it was very prominent, but it was never spoken. It was just inferred, basically. And sometimes it was subtle, sometimes it was like, I literally made her this with my own bare hands, you know, like, and she memorized all of her routines. So in some ways it wasn't subtle, but it was never outright spoken, and it's just something audiences should be able to get and to understand. And so part of me now, as much as I liked watching her burn at the end of the movie, because she did scare me, and I'm glad that she's out of my life, because now I'm not going to be scared to walk into her room and to see her there standing and judging me all of a sudden. But at the same time, I feel really bad that she died, because she really did love Rebecca, I think. And I really like what the movie was doing with that. Don't really know where I'm going with this. I'd probably have to think about it before I actually had a really, really good discussion about it. But those are my preliminary thoughts on the matter. And last thing I want to talk about before I get into the cast were the shots and the lighting. The lighting in this movie, especially that projector scene, was out of this world, was amazing. The projector scene in particular was my favorite kind of lighting moment of them all, but I also really liked the scene where she goes into Rebecca's room for the first time with Mrs. Danvers, and then they do all that talk. Like, that was a pretty good scene as well for the lighting, but the projector scene for the lighting was off the charts incredible. I love movies when they use like flickering projectors, film projectors and stuff, and it's like the lights almost like this flicker. It just really adds this cool aesthetic. But then I love what they did with Max and then Mrs. De Winters, and how Max's face was usually like fully half shadowed or mostly shadowed, or it was most of the time it was half shadowed and half not shadowed. And then for Mrs. De Winters, it was very lit up. I really like what they did with the lighting there. And then when Max got angry, he stands up, he's all in shadow except for like kind of an eye-ish, like this area of his face. And I don't know, it just really made for a very menacing presence, a very menacing figure in that moment because of the lighting. And then she looked very innocent. Mrs. De Winters looked very, very innocent because the lighting made her look very innocent. And I really love the lighting in this movie, the shots as well, especially that final shot of fire burning down the house, and it's like this tracking shot of Mrs. Danvers as she's kind of not maybe running away from the fire, but maybe at the same time running away from the fire, because why wouldn't you be running away from the fire at that time? But maybe also she was super, super upset and she just wanted to die at the same time. But yeah, that shot, as you see through the windows, there's fire everywhere, you see her character running around, like that was an incredible shot. The shot where Max and Mrs. De Winters kind of meet up and they like are hugging each other and stuff, and the fire's burning everything in the background. Beautiful shots. There are some crazy shots in this movie, some shots that make characters look small, make characters look weak, make characters look innocent, all because of the shot composition. Thought Hitchcock did a great job with that. Getting into the characters now, I'm going to talk about Joan Fontaine, Laurence Olivier, Judith Anderson, and George Sanders. George Sanders as Jack. I'm going to be honest, I didn't like Jack. I didn't like him at all. I just wanted to punch him in the face, and when Max punched him in the face, I was like, go Max. You may have a lot of issues, but I am agreeing with you on this point. Go Max. I just didn't like him. I was really annoyed that he was trying to blackmail, but at the same time, like, he did love Rebecca. I guess like everyone loved Rebecca, it seems like, but Rebecca didn't really love him. It feels like, because even Danny says, like, Rebecca just thought love was a game. She would sit on the bed and like laugh about you guys with me. So Rebecca, I don't think even really loved Jack. She was just using him. But I think Jack did love Rebecca. So I was very interested in that kind of conflict. I was very annoyed with him though. I didn't really like him that much, and I wanted to punch him in the face when he invited himself to eat the lunch. But I thought George Sanders did a good job as Jack. Judith Anderson as Mrs. Danvers, I think, stole the show whenever she was on screen. From the moment you see her, you get such a good idea of who she is. Just the way she's dressed, her face, her body language, it's just all perfect for the character, and you know exactly what type of person she is as soon as she appears on screen. It's just great all around stuff, from the way she, like, the costuming and then the actual acting and stuff like that. But I think her character had the most layers to her. I think she had the most kind of subtle depth to her, and I really would like to watch this movie again and really focus in on her character and just figure her out, because she was like this very cool, mysterious puzzle that I can see. I have some of the pieces, but I feel like I need to watch the movie again to really get all the pieces into place. But I thought Judith Anderson did a really, really good job as Mrs. Danvers. Laurence Olivier as Max. I'm just going to call him Max. I know Max wasn't even his name. It was like Maxim or something like that, but Max is so much easier for me to say than Maxim. It's one less syllable. So I'm going to say Max. But I thought that Laurence Olivier did a really good job as Max. I don't really think I like Max that much, just because he was really, really mean to Mrs. De Winters, and I really liked Mrs. De Winters, and I feel like Max was just using her as a scapegoat, as a way to recuperate from the loss of Rebecca. But at the same time, he didn't even care about Rebecca, but he just kind of wanted someone that could love him back in a way, because he was even saying that Rebecca never knew intimacy, never could do that stuff, and Mrs. De Winters could obviously do that stuff. That was kind of her thing. She was so caring, she was so nice, she was so innocent, and I think Laurence Olivier's character Max just kind of was using her for that. Didn't even ask for her first name, never said it once in the movie. And so I liked his character. I liked that he didn't murder her, and I liked that the twist was that she wanted him to murder her. She wanted him to be framed. Rebecca wanted Max to be framed for the murder so that he would also go to jail, and I liked that they really hated each other, but I liked that he didn't murder her. But at the same time, I think his character is a little meh, but I thought he did a really good job. And Joan Fontaine as Mrs. De Winters, I thought that she was amazing in this movie. Behind or beside Mrs. Danvers, I think both of them stole the show whenever they were in it. Luckily, Mrs. De Winters was the main character of the movie, and so Joan Fontaine got to shine in a lot of scenes. But I thought she was great. I loved how distraught she felt, and how kind of scared and nervous and spooked out she was when she was in the house, as Rebecca's shadow was haunting every single corner. I loved her kind of mental fall throughout the movie, and then it slowly starts to get built back up. But then at the same time, when she was saying like, no, I do love you, I was like, you're just talking right now. You're just being like manipulated almost like there's no way you actually love this guy. You've been crying every single day since you've been here, and I felt really bad for her. I kind of wished that she had just escaped, you know, she just left the house one night and never come back. But I thought that she was a really fun character. I liked that she was super innocent at the start, and she wasn't as innocent at the end. She was still a very nice, very caring person. Like that whole personality trait that she had at the start was still there, but I think her innocence definitely left her at some point. I think when Max said that, like, oh, you're not kind of the same person after I told you about Rebecca, I think that is pretty true. You know, she kind of did have to become a more hardened person after that point, but she still kept those caring attributes, and I wish that she wasn't with Max, because honestly, Max is kind of a bum. But I thought that she did a great job. And that is my reaction and review to Rebecca, the 1940 Alfred Hitchcock movie. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot. I'm excited to watch another Alfred Hitchcock movie whenever that happens. I don't remember what movie it is, but it's definitely on my radar, and there should be another one coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.